I got notes because I just do. So, guess what? I am a Canberra local. I was born here, I grew up here, and I went to school here. And as Billy pointed out just before, I've gone back to the classroom as an adult. So I'm a primary school teacher teaching 9-year-olds. And as a primary school teacher, we have to teach everything. We have to teach art, we have to teach science, we have to teach maths, English, PE, all of it. And there's a particular subject we have to teach called protective behaviours. Have you heard of it? No. So protective behaviours is all about teaching children to understand their body, what should be private and what's allowed to be public. And part of this means that we have to teach them the correct terminology for all their body parts. For example, norks, knockers, noogers are breasts. Yeah. Donga, doodle or ding dong is actually a penis. And in trying to explain to the students about the scrotum, I let them know that the scrotum is actually two things. Look, it's got testicles inside the scrotum, and the scrotum is a little bag that hangs. Penis. The goal of the lesson was for each student to identify and locate via a diagram and labels the various body parts we had discussed during the lesson. Peter was one of my students. He was noticeably shorter. In fact, he was the shortest student in my class of 9-year-olds. He was really enthusiastic and also a little bit anxious. He always wanted to know what was happening next. He'd be the one shooting his hand up. You know the one? I know, the thing before. It's up here, see? It's here. And eventually, yes, Peter, what do you want to say? And he'd be like, oh, I forgot. They just said that they forgot. He'd always want to bring his work to me and show me that he'd finished first, and he usually hadn't. And he always sounded as if he had a mouthful of water. He'd be like this. Miss King! Well, what are we doing for spelling? Or, Miss King, what are we doing in sports today? Or, Miss King, Ashton's hustling me. Can you tell him to stop? He just sounded wet. On this particular day, as we were learning, shush you. On this particular day, as we were learning about the body parts, Peter was being his usual enthusiastic self. I sent the student back to their desk to get their diagram and start attaching all their labels. Peter had been powering through, cutting, snipping, paper was flying everywhere, he was gluing it on. Then I noticed Peter start to shrink a little. He was already tiny, right? Starts to shrink a little, goes under the desk. I'm like, hey Peter, what's up? Are you okay? What's wrong? Well, Miss King, you know how we had to put all the labels on our diagram? I was like, yes, Peter, that was the task. He goes, well, I found everything. I put all the labels on all the bits, on everything. I said, well, that's really good, Peter. Why are you upset? That was the task. You've done really well. And he said, I also noticed that the penis and the scrotum is close to the anus. That's fantastic. That's good noticing. But Miss King, what is it? I can't find my anus. I dropped it on the floor. It's gone missing. I don't know where my anus is, Miss King. And at this point, some of the other students in the class noticed what was going on, and they went ahead and they said, all right, everybody, let's get down on the floor and help Peter find his anus. Thank you.